Taurus, this is your March 2023 soul story. If you have a sun rising or your moon is in the sign, then this is your reading. Thank you so much for taking the time to tune in. It's Romy here. Appreciate you joining me on the channel for this conversation. We're going to open up with the energy of the Two of Cups for you. Now, you have options this month, so I'm going to ask you to consider what part of you feels like perhaps you don't, because you're going to be exploring this month how to come into a better balance, how to come into a place where you feel more empowered. And there's a vulnerability with that, because it means that you might have to ask yourself some uncomfortable questions. You might be asking that of others. In fact, this is a month where I think you will be expecting more from people, but you know what? You're also prepared to give more. And I think in that level of honesty and accountability, there's this beautiful coming home to yourself. There's this opportunity to really remember who you are, why you're here. And you have to honor what it is that you've been through. So as we look towards connections and relationships through Pisces season, of course, we're illuminating that 11th house. And so there's a big focus for you this month, Taurus, around groups, the groups that you're a part of, and perhaps where you feel there isn't the support that you need. You may be the one that's forming a new group or bringing people together in order to provide that foundation, that resonance, that feeling of being connected to people who have really walked the same path that you have, because you have something to share in relation to that. You have something deeply knowledgeable and valuable to give. So we're going to open up the month with a really beautiful aspects with Venus and Jupiter conjunct in Aries. Now this focus, this gathering of cardinal fire energy, even through Pisces season, is illuminating that 12th house. And so there's a powerful propelling in your spiritual path and journey through the course of March. In fact, I think you'll be seeing signs more powerfully, feeling into things more specifically. But around that first few days in March, it's a really positive time if there's something new that you want to initiate, something you want to launch, somewhere you need to be, and you're just looking for that kind of tailwind, that support from the universe, that feeling of knowing that things are expanding and you're moving past the limitations, past perhaps where some of the blocks have been showing up for you. Now, as we approach the full moon in Virgo, it's coming on the 7th of the month, the same day that Saturn will shift sign into Pisces. And, you know, remember, as you put this focus around group work, but also the way in which you're showing up for your own hopes and dreams, Saturn's going to be working with you in these areas for the next 2.5 years. So there may be some things coming to light around that Virgo full moon that are going to be really important for you to reflect and consider, because there are set to be some powerful changes in the way that you address and what your attitude and approach is going to be moving forward. Now, I'm really saying that this is a month where we're looking to be all in. There's a feeling of almost having a clean slate. But remember, Virgo as this caretaker, as this beautiful grounded medicine energy, is also saying, listen, to be all in doesn't mean that we sacrifice our own physicality, that we still need to maintain and take care of that incredible life force energy within. So this is about the medicine of the moment. This is about knowing that you can be all in that beautiful state of presence, so that you don't abandon yourself, but at the same time you're really realizing and appreciating what it has to teach you there and then. Now, as we talk about this sense of vulnerability coming through in March, we have Jupiter and Chiron making aspect, having a conversation around the 11th, 12th of the month. Now the 11th, the same day as Juno, here we have Justice, moving into your sign Taurus. Juno, of course, rules marriage, rules contracts, partnerships and agreements. And with the Two of Cups and Justice coming through, I have a sense that there is a powerful agreement being formed. Now it may come in quite almost haphazardly. Like there's something that just feels like it's a bit rushed, it's a bit hurried, like something coming in around that time of the month. And you may even feel a little bit insecure just in terms of, has everything been captured? Is this the right thing? Does this expose me? Is this kind of taking care of everything that I need it to? So there's a little bit of you feeling rattled almost is what I want to say. But ultimately, with Juno in your sign, I feel that everything is coming in to propel you forward, to support you moving into a better position. And sometimes that means like coming out of our comfort zones. So there may be something that is requiring you to break some of the beliefs and the limitations that you've placed upon yourself and really start to address why you might have held yourself back, or why you feel so uncomfortable with something that feels ultimately so natural and really is where you should be, regardless of whether this is coming through in terms of a personal relationship or it's a more formal professional agreement in some capacity. So we're then going to see Venus shifting into your sign on the 16th of the month. This will do wonders for how you feel, just in terms of being able to show up more authentically as you. My sacred soul support this month in the light, we take a journey to becoming you, authentically you. And in the shadow, we're going to be looking at dissolving disappointments. So these are tools to help support you over and above the soul stories. You can check out the links in the comment and description box underneath. I'll also just take this opportunity to share with you that I have pre-launched my first book, Moon Musings. And if you follow me on the socials, these are all the transmissions and downloads and poetry and musings I've been sharing with the collective over the last few years. So you can pre-order with a signed copy of that, and the shipping is going to commence from the new moon, 21st. So please be sure to check it out. Okay, so we're moving into the Page of Cups. Now, sometimes you see things, you want things, but the question is it for you? And we have her closing her eyes and really reflecting and taking this quiet inner journey, because we can get caught up in where we think we should be, or what's topical, or what's fashionable, or what we think is the answer for us. But each and every one of us has such a unique path to follow. And so as you come home to, is this truly aligning with my heart space, or am I being triggered and feeling like I want to compete, or I want to see if that's the right path for me? There's this almost like this inner dialogue that needs to take place. And what you might find is that your initial response is coming from more of an ego place. And as you go a bit deeper, you'll come into a deeper sense of harmony and peace with knowing what the right way forward is for you. Now, as we come more into the month of March, we're going to welcome Aries energy. Of course, this 12th house lighting up that very spiritual path for you. And we're also going to see equinox coming in. So be sure to check out my equinox guided meditation to support you around this time. But this is where we get to balance and release something significant. And I want to say to you right now, because it's almost like in this month of remembering who you are, why you're here, what you're supposed to be focusing and directing your energy towards, looking for more from people, expecting that you can also give more. All of this may also be contrasted against a feeling like you just don't belong, or you're just struggling more and more to be in the energy or the seriousness of life or the things that are unfolding around you. And I really want to pause and give you the message right now that the reason that you are here in this time where things feel so disconnected from who you feel you truly are and the life that you know you're meant to be leading is because you're here to pave the way for that energy, for that existence, not just for yourself in the tomorrows and the days and weeks and years to come, but also for the next generation and for the collective to be able to orientate and feel the resonance of that energy. So please hold that message if you are feeling increasingly disconnected from the people, the places, the situations, just everything that is unfolding in this time and space right now. Around that equinox and the new moon in Aries, you're powerfully deciding for yourself, what that new truth feels like, what that new pathway forward is, and you're going to have an uncomfortable conversation, I think, with yourself first and foremost, because you're maybe going to reflect back on where you have maybe sold yourself out or feel like you sort of signed up or agreed to something, and in hindsight you think actually it wasn't the best way to deal with that. However, you know, as I always say, there's never a right or a wrong, it's only ever about experiences. And that Ace of Swords is also helping you to cut through any confusion, get right to the root of something for yourself. What emerges from that is really powerful. And as we make our way towards the end of the month, we'll see Pluto shifting into Aquarius on the 23rd. The 25th sees Mars moving into Cancer. Now, there's a disruption that's always felt within our energy field when these planets move signs or station retrograde or direct, because we have to kind of rebalance ourselves. Now, in a month where we've got equinox, it's going to feel like almost the entire month has this contrast of feeling incredibly vulnerable but yet incredibly empowered, knowing exactly what we want and feeling like we don't know what we want at all. So be at peace with this kind of oscillating between different extremes, knowing that ultimately you will be propelled forward much further than what you anticipate, because that Knight of Wands is showing me that you're going to make incredible progress in regards to some situation that perhaps you felt is going to take a lot longer. I don't think that will be the case. If you're looking for positive dates on when to have important conversations or discussions and really feel something positive or working on your side favorably, look towards the 27th and 28th as Mercury and Jupiter join forces and give this cosmic boost. There's something incredibly positive and good news, something to celebrate coming in around that time. And the experience feels incredibly immersive for you at that moment. So not just having the conversation, but I feel like at the same time the conversation is unfolding, you're almost doing the thing that you want to see. You know, there's something kind of much deeper and richer taking place around that time. Okay, remember, with Venus and Juno in your sign, you are also able to bring a very harmonious, balanced approach to negotiations. And so regardless of how that negotiation is showing up for you professionally, personally, romantically, it does feel like there's a more positive experience for you to have in that. But again, it's because you're giving yourself permission to be all in without sacrificing your well-being at the same time, okay? So new hopes and dreams are really being activated through this month of March. And I think what you're going to start to see playing out is the way in which some of these things can come into being in, honestly, like in ways that you hadn't anticipated. So I think there's quite a few surprises to come that kind of really start to demonstrate to you how much you're working with a different type of energy now. And if you're willing and open to receive that, then, you know, you will move forward more quickly. At the same time, you are going to realize and bear witness to those who are choosing, literally choosing to remain in a more unconscious level of perception and energy at kind of what's going on right now. And that's okay. But, you know, to try to drag somebody or force somebody or try to convince somebody, not going to be a good use of your energy this month. Yeah, so really honor what you've been through and find that new approach that's going to work for you. And through that sacredness, that sacred selfishness, if you like, just making sure that you're in balance, you're going to be able to show up to each and every situation with such a better energy to what perhaps previously might have really triggered you, and now it's just going to wash over you. Right, it's really going to wash over you. There's a lot happening behind the scenes, especially in the second half of March. So you're busy beavering away in regards to something, Taurus. And, you know, there's a lot of excitement and fervor and kind of anticipation that I feel is building around that, both for you and others. You know, there may be something that you're kind of sharing, but not fully. And, you know, just make sure you're getting yourself into a place where you're fully aligned with what your intention is for what's going on, just so that, you know, when that does come to light and fully out into, you know, the public kind of sphere, if you like, that, you know, you're not going to be triggered or knocked by then what anybody's opinion is. You know, you just got to be super sure and super clear on why it matters and what's important about this in regards to you. And then from that place, you're going to start to see it flourish and blossom in ways that will be really beautiful. Okay, so our last 3 cards we will cover off in the extended version of our reading. If you're new to the channel, we talk for another 25-30 minutes and give you deeper insights into the month ahead. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and clarify the first part of the reading as well, just to see the direction and additional messages that want to be showing up for you this month, Taurus. So just starting off with that 2 of Cups energy, what's coming through for us? 8 of Wands, nice. All the decks that I use are also listed underneath for your information. Okay, we've got the energy of death coming through and the 3 of Wands. Quite a nod to some travel coming up there for some of you. Knight of Wands, 3 of Wands. Okay, Justice coming in with the 8 of Swords. Another Page of Cups. Might be a water sign, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, that you're also having this discussion or negotiation about, or that's who you're connected or involved with. The new moon, of course, coming in on the 21st of the month. And, you know, right after that equinox energy, the requirement really for anything that you are sort of laying out, the new seeds that you're sowing, if you like, space needs to be created. So, you know, there's almost like a secondary opportunity for release this month, definitely around that Virgo full moon. But the equinox, again, giving an opportunity to rebalance something, because you need it on better terms. Yeah, you're negotiating like better terms for yourself right across the board. There's also this sense of just coming at things from a place of like not knowing everything, and that's okay. You know, sometimes the universe really levels us, doesn't it? It kind of brings us right back, and we feel like we've mastered something only to realize we've just come back to the beginning, and you know, there's now a whole new level to take in. But that's okay, because I feel like you still bring all of the experience to bear, and your attitude is different this time. So it's not coming from a place of insecurity. You're quite happy to stand up and be like, I don't know what I don't know, so who can help me? And I think it's that kind of refreshing honesty that will actually bring in the right people to support you. Remember, you've got a lot of 11th house really kind of shifting and changing and churning, and that will continue over this next couple of years. In fact, you might end up really figureheading like an incredibly important committee or group or membership, or just something where you're going to be kind of really drawing together. So just going to work with Life Soul Vision Oracle, which is my deck. So if you haven't checked that out, please do so over on my website. Let's just clarify here. 3 of Cups is bringing in the Spirit Horse, Sovereign Power. Love that for you. We also have the Spirit Crane. Oh, you've got all the animals coming through, Taurus. Not a surprise, of course, with that Virgo full moon. You may be expecting some shifts and changes, especially around pets, if you've got the furry ones in your life around that full moon. Nourish your inner wealth. Beautiful. Energy conversations, that's nice. So just a reminder, those really important dates to look out for this month. First and the 2nd of the month, just initiating something new, really kind of propelling that even further around the new moon in Aries, and then those conversations and really immersive experiences taking place around the 27th and 28th. Feeling a little vulnerable through the mid-month, but honestly, I think everything here is leading to this level of increased abundance for you, and how you can achieve and attain that in ways that serve your soul in a much more balanced way. So I'm also just going to pull a couple of cards which we will focus on a specific personal question. So if you want to put some emphasis around that just now for me, Taurus. Again, we'll cover this in the extended part of our reading. Two just wanted to fall out there, so we will take them both. And I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in. I wish you a really beautiful month of March, and I'll see you on the extended if you are coming there. The link is in the comment and description box. Otherwise, you take care. I will see you again next time. Bye for now.